I'm here to speak on behalf of the American people and how outraged we are at the policies of the Green New Deal, which are in the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill and the $3.5 trillion budget, because these policies are the most America-last policies. As a matter of fact, they do nothing but put China first. This is a simple meme that you would find on the internet, but this meme is very real. The Green New Deal, surprise, serves China and China only. Democrats want to turn the lights out on America. They want to end our energy independence and surrender America, putting us on our knees to China, dependent on China. And that's not at some distance time in the future. That's pretty soon, especially in less than 10 years. The Green New Deal provides the framework we need to confront the intersecting crises our country faces: climate change, a public health pandemic, racial injustice, and economic inequality. President Xi himself knows one thing very clear. If we're going to reduce our carbon emissions, cutting them down in half by 2030, that means we're cutting our economy in half by 2030. So President Xi of China, who's very clever and thinks the long game, is planning on ramping up his economy, as a matter of fact, increasing carbon output, he says, until at least 2035. And then while President Joe Biden says, oh, America's carbon will be net zero by 2050, President Xi is still laughing, saying, oh, well, maybe China can try to get to net zero by 2060. You see, China is gaming us at our own stupidity. We have a president in the White House that is looking to do everything he can to serve China, and maybe that'll help out his son in his business dealings in foreign countries like China. Biden's executive order implements a socialist agenda by creating well-paying union jobs. The infrastructure plan, which the Speaker would very much like to pass, the progressives would very much like the $1.2 trillion infrastructure deal, matched with the $3.5 trillion budget, because that is the whole package of the Green New Deal. This plan includes $7.5 billion, this is in the infrastructure, billion for a network of 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations across the country, and another $7.5 billion for electric buses. This is America's charging network. As you can see, electric vehicle charging stations already exist over much of America. So right now, currently, there's already 44,000 public charging stations in the U.S. President Biden has even proposed spending nearly $6 billion transitioning the entire federal fleet of electric vehicles. Why would they have to do that? That's because they're going to force you to drive an electric vehicle that uses a battery. Right now, there's over 50,000 trucks sitting, brand new trucks sitting in Kentucky. Do you want to know why they can't be sold? They're waiting on microchips. And the reason why they're waiting on microchips is because China dominates the market, because they dominate the market of rare earth minerals, and they dominate creating them. They dominate the market that creates microchips, and they dominate the market that creates lithium batteries that drive cars, electric vehicles. We have a federal government, a Democrat-controlled federal government, a Democrat-controlled Congress that wants to transition our economy that's already functioning really well. Our American businesses do well, but we want to move it to rely on basically one country, China, communist China, who is not our friend, who is our enemy, and sent us the COVID virus that we're already staggering from the past year and a half. But yet it's our own government that wants to cripple us and put us on our knees to rely on China that dominates this market for our battery needs from our federally forced electric vehicles, coming soon to you by 2030. It's pretty unbelievable. Joe Biden didn't just abandon our fellow citizens in Afghanistan, he also left behind valuable resources to the Taliban. So not only did we abandon Americans in Afghanistan, which was shocking, but we also left behind $1 trillion in rare earth minerals. Can you believe that? And we didn't even negotiate for them. But do you know who did? China did. China has moved in as negotiating a deal with Afghanistan for this $1 trillion worth of rare earth minerals. They also just made a 25-year deal with Iran, and they're working very hard on the Belt and Road project that'll go right through Afghanistan to Iran. You see, these deals, the infrastructure deal, the $3.5 trillion budget that the Democrats in Congress know all the details to, it's going to force every single American to have to drive a communist Chinese battery just to get to work or go to the store. And then guess what? When the battery runs out and you need a new one, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to have to order it from China. Hopefully there'll be no more COVID shutdowns, and hopefully you can get your communist Chinese battery in time so that you can start driving your government-forced electric vehicle. This is an unbelievable thing, and I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican or you don't care about politics. You should care about this, because these are the policies that are going to destroy our economy and destroy our country. What I would like to say is I would like to appeal to my Democrat colleagues. Don't force us, don't force the American people to rely on communist China by taking over our private market and forcing the American people to have to rely on communist China just to drive a car and a truck. Don't force Americans into this situation with their own tax dollars, and stop worshiping the fake climate religion.